Hello, friends. Welcome to my Abiding Journal and the monthly journaling club. I hope you can hear and see my journal okay. My name is Kelsey Lee if you are new, and welcome. We are about to get started with one of my favorite activities that we do every single month, and that is to document the previous month. Though in this case, the month we're documenting is not quite over because we are currently finishing up July. There's just a few days left. But before we know it, it is going to be August and I am going to be out of the country. So my time to be able to document the month is right now. And so that is what we're going to do. I'm just going to test my volume here. Okay, yep. Sounds like everything's working okay. Go ahead and say hello if you are joining live in the chat. I know this isn't our normal scheduled programming time that we do, so we might have a little bit fewer people joining us live, but that's okay. And if you weren't able to join live and are watching it after, go ahead and say hello in the comments. Still love to hear that you're checking in and journaling with us, even if it's not part of the live. So, if you're completely new, the Monthly Journaling Club is a club in which we get together virtually to document our lives 1 month at a time. And we are halfway through documenting 2025. So, this is what my journal is looking like so far for the first half of the year. And it's been so much fun to do this in community and get together with all of you to document our months together. And it's just truly amazing that we're halfway through the year and just look at all the memories. If you've been with us from the beginning, look how much you already have documented. How amazing is that? And I want to encourage you, if you are joining us for the first time, if you have it in your heart to want to start documenting your life and are considering the practice of monthly journaling to do it, I want to encourage you that right now is the best time to start because you're at the halfway point. You can document July with us, and then you will have 6 months documented, just like what you're seeing here. Look at all of these memories I have documented. That's just 6 months of my life, and you can make that happen with the next 6 months of 2025. You don't have to wait until the new year. So this is where we left off, of course, with June, a really fun and full month for me. And we're going to turn the page and get started on July. Now, this is going to be an interesting journal with me, at least for me, because this is the first time that I don't have any photos printed for our journaling session. You all know, you can tell from all of my previous entries that photos are a huge, huge part of how I document my life and how I journal. And my printer is being a little butt right now and not printing for me. I don't know if the connection to my phone and my computer, I tried both, is not working. I might need to reconnect it to the Wi-Fi. And of course, I waited till the last minute to try and print the photos before the live stream was supposed to start. So all that to say, we do not have any photos printed, though I do have my collage of photos that I plan to use. And there actually weren't too many photos for this month, so it's not the biggest deal that I can't start out by incorporating the photos from the beginning. But this is actually kind of awesome because it gives me the opportunity to show you how you can document your life without photos, or even get the process started when you know that you're going to use photos but don't yet have them printed. You can still start the process. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my July bucket list. If you're new, every single month in 2025, we have been creating bucket lists for each month to inspire us to really make this a year to remember. And I have been loving using these to then document the month on my page by highlighting all of the things that I was able to check off that month. So here is a look at July, and I definitely am going to be using at least a few of these. The sun tea one for sure, because I did make a lot of sun tea. We saw lots of fireflies this year. It was a really good year for fireflies. Being patriotic, I do have a photo, once I can get it printed, of my family standing in front of an American flag on the 4th of July. So we'll definitely pair that with this cute little dog holding the American flag. So definitely some things we can be checking off. And then I have been saving a few little items as well. We went to a wedding. I went to a thrift shop with my mother-in-law and aunt-in-law, I guess. It's Ben's aunt, and got a few cute items. So this is the tag from one of those pieces of clothing. And then I saved this from the restaurant where we had our lunch that day. We did not do the afternoon tea, but I still might use one of these illustrations because we did enjoy scones and tea at home that Ben's aunt kindly made for us. So I thought that would be cute to have as well. So those are kind of the materials that I have gathered already. And then I will also likely use some of our July stickers from last year when we did monthly kits. And I actually used a lot of the July stickers for my planner setup. So, and of course I used them last year too. So I don't have a ton left, but there are a few that I may want to use from that kit. And all of these stickers are available on my Patreon when you become a member on the Abiding Love tier or up. Basically each tier you just get a little bit more access to tons and tons of stickers, everything I've ever posted, which it's been many, many years of sharing with all of you on Patreon, so there is a lot. Let me go ahead and say hi to people in the chat. Sorry for those of you whose names I don't know based on your YouTube names, but I see you, Sound of the Storm. I know at some point I think you told me your name, and I'm sorry I'm not remembering it in this moment. Amanda is here. Stephanie, welcome. So glad you could make it. Sarah, Anne. We have Black Anglican. Again, if you want to share your actual names, go ahead and do that. Marion is here. Hi, Marion. I just put your happy mail in the mail, so that should be coming to you in Washington very soon. I do have a tier where you get happy mail from me if you're on the Abiding Joy tier. You get it when you first join, and then every July and January I send out another round of happy mail to people who are still on that tier, so that's super fun. Heather is here. So thank you all for joining live. I know some of you are at work. I kind of purposefully put it in the lunch hour, at least for Eastern time where I am, because I was hoping, you know, people could at least make it work on their lunch break, since I know it's a typical work day for a lot of people. But I'm also hopeful that the time worked out for some of you who live in other parts of the world and maybe normally can't make the live stream because it's when you're in bed. Maybe this time works even better for you. Hi, Alma. Okay, so I also need my stickers. If I can, where did I put them? These are the alphas. It might be here. My month stickers, because these are what I've been using to indicate what month we are in. I've been using these corner ones. They are from the month's printable sticker collection, also on Patreon. And so that's been a fun new style for me this year, because previous years I always put the month in the middle of the page. I'm sure I'm going to go back to that at some point. But this has been a nice change of pace to give me more of the page to be able to play with. Oh, good. I'm glad it is working out for you in Ontario, Canada, the timing. Yeah, it's been a weird few months. Normally, we meet on the first Thursday of each month at 7 p.m. Eastern, but it's nice to have a regular rhythm so people know what to expect and know generally when we'll meet, but lately I've just been having to make random times work that happen to work for me because my schedule has been more wonky. And this month, or I guess August, when we would normally have it in the first week of August, I'm going to be in Peru during that time, so not going to be able to do the live. So we're just doing it a bit early this month, and last month I did it at a different time as well. And actually, a heads up for all of you who do join live regularly, it's going to be a different time next month too, because I'm not going to be available on the first Thursday of September. So just a heads up that that will be the case. All right, now just gonna see here what I potentially want to put kind of as my background element for July. For the corner piece, I've been liking sticking like a sticker right behind it. Maybe I'll get one of those. I could do like a botanical actually, because the garden has been pretty full of life as of late. I would love like a black-eyed Susan or a coneflower, which I don't know if I have any of those in this little bin here. Another option, what is it? Could be looking through this. This is the Botanist sticker anthology. I actually haven't opened this in a little while. This I got on Amazon. Really great price and just full of botanical stickers. I mean, it's pretty amazing. But, you know, like this looks a lot like a lot of the flowers that are blooming right now in my garden, so I could use that one. I like that they're kind of organized by themes and color palettes too. Like this is a whole aquatic page, which is great for documenting like snorkeling or being on an island. The rainforest one, I'll definitely have to remember to go to this page when I get back from Peru and I'm working on my travel journal. There's desert. I'll have to go back to that. And I finally maybe document the Grand Canyon in Arizona, which still is not actually officially documented in my travel journal. I'm so behind on my travel journaling, but that's why partly I love doing these monthly entries, is because it doesn't matter how far behind I am on all of the other journaling that I like to do and try to keep up with, as long as I am documenting my months, I am still documenting all of the memories of my life, even if it's not in a full-fledged form. So for example, if you go back to November of last year when we went to the Grand Canyon in Arizona, I have those memories in a quick highlight fashion documented, even though I actually haven't yet worked on my travel journal entry spread. Oops, that's very crooked. I'm actually putting this off the edge because I'm going to just cut a portion of it because I wanted this flower fully in the corner. Yes, Peru, I'm so excited. The photos, hopefully I'll get my printer working again when I come back, because the photos I'm sure are just going to be amazing. I'm going to have to really try to restrain myself because I can definitely get a little photo happy when I'm traveling. And then I come back and it's like overwhelming how many photos I have to go through. Does that happen to anybody else when you go to a new place? Okay. So, and then we'll put this over top. Now, because this isn't the clear kind, I'm going to try and cut this a little bit more exactly, because otherwise the white border would show. Okay. So we're going to put this in the corner. Uh-oh. Okay. You never know if it's going to come up okay when you accidentally stick it down before you're quite ready. I think trying to get this lined up actually in the corner is the hardest part, to make sure it's hitting each side. I have stickers, little sticker fragments sticking all over me. Okay, I think that's good. There we go. I'll bring you guys a little bit closer. So we have our title with our little flower. Yeah, 4,000 photos from Japan. Yep. Yeah, and similarly for the Galapagos and Ecuador, because I also want to do a little travel vlog and incorporate that in what I share with you all in terms of how I turn those memories into memories in my journal. I have like 300 video clips that I have to go through to make that video. So, and I want to do the same thing for Peru, so I'm just going to come back with even more to try and get through, but that's all right. All right, let's now cut out the bucket list items that we know we're going to want to use. And like I said, we did make sun tea. That's kind of a regular summer pastime for me. Does anybody else make sun tea where you just stick your water with your tea bags out in the sun to brew? I hope some of you got to try it and actually used the July bucket list to inspire you in that, because this was the freebie for the month. If you like this sticker and are not currently a patron, you can access just this sticker from the sheet by becoming a free member on Patreon, because every month I select one of the items from our bucket list to be a challenge for everybody to participate in, and then you can print out the sticker for that. And so the sun tea was our challenge for July. So you can head over to Patreon and the free printables collection and find this, as well as all of the other freebies from this year. I might even layer it with over the flowers, because I kind of like the way the lemons and the flowers with the yellow is all playing off of each other. And then I have, this is the tea from Louisiana Tea Southern Blends. This mint and rose blossom flavored green tea has been my favorite to use for making sun tea. I just put a bunch of bags of this in. They also have a honeyed peach one, so sometimes I'll mix the two together, and it's been really delicious. So I would love to also put this on here. Blends. Let's see if we can do the trick where you peel off the back just to make it a little bit less thick. Though I know part of me was also debating if I wanted to do this more like a tip-in because the back is pretty cute. It says, "A day without tea is like, well, it just shouldn't happen." And then it says, "Sweetie, let's catch up, but first tea." So like kind of playing off of the southern southern vibes, which I really love. And all of their tea bags, I don't think I saved one of them either, but the little tags that come on them have these cute little phrases about like where the tea should be enjoyed. Like, this tea should be enjoyed on the beach, or enjoy it on your rocking chair. So it's pretty cute. I don't know. What do we think? Do we want to tip in? I don't think I'm going to, just because it's got like a little stain on it and stuff, and they're cute phrases, but it's not necessary. So we'll just do, like I said, the trick of peeling off the back. When you have these packaging, often like, you know, these paper cardboard type of packaging, you can typically just rip off some of the layers of the back, and then that just gives you a thinner piece to work with instead of trying to get it to work using the whole piece. It's not necessary, it's just helpful if you're trying to reduce how much your journal is going to bulk up. If you really want it to get super bulky, then maybe you wouldn't want to do this. But you can see now it's like much thinner, though I did rip it a little bit, but that's okay. Pretty good. This corner is still a little thick, but I think we'll call that good enough. So I think I'm gonna put it like right up to the edge here. And then I'm likely gonna stack this and just make it very collage like over here in the corner. Oops. Okay, our glue is having a bit of a meltdown. Let's see if we can spread that out a bit. Wow, this piece definitely is not going anywhere. So we'll have to make sure we put it exactly where we want it, right? All right, and now we can put our printable on over it. Be like right there. Cute. All right, Okay, and maybe we'll also, since like this is already tea focused, I'm thinking we'll build upon that and maybe talk about my experience visiting Bath and Bethlehem to visit Ben's aunt. And we just basically had like a girls' weekend and had tea and scones and went thrifting together. It was a very, very nice time. So I kind of like, even though this is all about like iced tea, we're just gonna keep the tea theme and put these spilling cups. This sticker sheet, by the way, that I'm using, I stuck it in this coffee and tea collection because I try and keep like things that I happen to document often together. But this is a strip of one of the washi tapes I got from the washi tape shop. This one is called London Fog. I just shared all of the recent washi that I got in my most recent Plan With Me video. So if you want to see what the rest of this collection looks like, you can definitely check that out. I definitely want to use, ooh, this is so perfect. I don't know if you can read it. It says, on a scorching summer day, a refreshing cup of tea is the best way to beat the heat. I mean, that's literally made for this. Oh, it's actually connected to the afternoon tea, but that's totally fine. Perfect for talking about sun tea. I'm gonna layer that over the cups for afternoon tea. Very fun. I don't know yet if I want to use this. I'm gonna do the same thing and peel off the back of the tag. And we're not gonna need this part, so I can just cut that because I really only want the label from the store. The store does, as it says, sell their clothing online too. So if you don't have any great thrift shops near you, do check out the Attic, atticclothes.com. I found some good pieces there that I really like. I don't know how far they ship, if it's just for in the US or what, but definitely worth checking out. And it's located in Bethlehem, PA, if ever you happen to be visiting Bethlehem. I might regret doing this cut, but we'll see. I think I like it. The Attic. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put it here. This is like going full on collage right now, just layering all of the pieces together. And then maybe we'll cut out, do I want this one or this one? Maybe I should do this one just to stick with the red theme, which is also actually working out really nicely because I typically do like using a lot of red in my July entries, just with living in the US and like red, white, and blue, 4th of July, you know, it's all very patriotic because red is not normally a color I think that I feature very often in my entries. But yeah, let me see if I can find last July. yeah, here you can see just with the colors for our July sticker collection. The color palette features a lot of red with the berry picking. And then I happened to go see a Fulton show, and that uses the red. My bikini was red. The YouTube play button, because 40K is what we hit last July. So it's just fun kind of to see the things that stay the same about how you decorate different months. And yeah, definitely red seems to be the thing that always pops up in my July entries. Oops. I'm going to use my paper trimmer. This is one of the unsung heroes of my journaling toolkit. I feel like I use it constantly, but I can't remember if in any of my, supply focused videos where I'm like, all the supplies you need to journal, or what I would recommend to beginner journalers. I don't know if this has made the list ever. And it's kind of funny because I literally always use it. I love my paper trimmer because I really do prefer crisp, straight lines. And I cannot cut straight lines, even if I wanted to. So this is another great example of just looking around the places that you are visiting and spending time, what you're doing with your days, because so far, right, we don't have any photos on this page because I can't get my printer to work. And I used, 2 stickers, a sticker that I designed, so you could call this illustrating or designing something yourself if you wanted to draw. And then this, and this are freebie items that I was able to just pick up along the way. The box that the tea came in, I held on to that. You also, of course, can save the tea bags and use them. I also have this piece, which is from the pub where we had a really lovely lunch. And it's an Irish pub, so you also can kind of explore their Irish themed store and all the things that they have for sale in there. It actually, my family growing up, we used to go to Bethlehem a lot around Christmas time for obvious reasons. It's very popular if you live in Pennsylvania to visit Bethlehem for the Christmas season. And so that was kind of a little tradition that we had growing up. And my mom really loved to lean into her Irish roots and always loved checking out the Irish store. Though I feel like I only ever ate at the pub maybe once before. So it was nice to get lunch there, and it was just fun being there at a different season because I don't know that I've been to Bethlehem not in the wintertime, so it was nice to explore and spend some time there in the summer. So now we have that in there, and that was, again, just from a freebie. This is like an advertisement that they had trying to get people to book tea parties. And so I saved it, and all of these items, even though I probably aren't going to use them on this page, I can save them. And I'm just going to literally stick this in my coffee, tea, and cafes collection of stickers and ephemera. And now I have all of these additional beautiful photos that I can use in future entries. So let that be an encouragement that there are lots and lots of opportunities if you look around you for free things to put into your journaling. Oh no. There was something green on this sticker and I just smushed it onto here. I was really excited to use this one for the wedding. It's a printable, so I can always print it again, which is one of the great things about the printable sticker collections. But I don't know. I guess maybe we'll just have to think differently about how we're going to document the wedding that we went to. All right, so let me think. I want to wrap up this kind of corner, which is going to be the girls' weekend getaway. And I would like to write girls' weekend in some form or fashion, or have some kind of additional stickers to help document that. Hi, Gatina. Glad you could join us on your lunch break. So I'm gonna try and grab some sticker books. See some ones that might have like spending time together type of quotes and stickers. This is bliss is cute. Happy life. This lovely life is a cute one. I kind of like that. I might even just stick that up in this empty space I have up here. Can trim off. The enjoy the little things is also cute. I'm trying to see if there's some way that we can write like girls' weekend. We could do some alphas, of course, is always an option. Travel day, celebrate, day break. This is cute. I think we'll do this one. It says weekend getaway. And then maybe we could write like with the girls. Yeah, let's get our, we'll just do a brush pen. All right, with the girls, or do I want to say names? Say, We'll see how that ends up looking. Sometimes I am not a huge fan of how my lettering turns out. And then once the rest of the page is filled in, it actually doesn't look as bad as I originally thought. So we'll probably just let it be for now and see what happens. All right, I think next, maybe we'll put like a block down, just like a space basically that we would journal in. Like this little pink one, that's cute. So I'm going to pull up my notes because I typically, when I am prepping to document a month, I keep notes in my phone. Sometimes I'm taking notes throughout the month and I'm really good about doing that. And other times I sit down at the end of a month and just look back and try and remember all of the main highlights. This particular month was a look back and try and remember all the main highlights. I think I actually did a pretty good job though, if I have to say so myself, in remembering some of the main things. But I want to see if there's anything else connected to this weekend. And then I also have pulled up, just on my computer, the collage of photos that I want to use just to help me visualize where I think those photos are going to end up going on the page, because I'm going to want to make sure that they are incorporated somewhere at some point. So keep that in mind too when you are journaling before actually incorporating your photos. You do want to think about, right, where are your photos going to end up once you're ready for them. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll actually use like block stickers or just like draw a box and know, okay, that's space is being held for a photo connected to whatever the subject is. Now, another big part of this weekend was actually going to some bookshops and getting some books, doing some thrifting books. So I also have a little collection that I just keep adding to for reading, writing, and creating. This little read books, they are good for us. Could be good. Yeah, why don't we just do that? And this is actually, as you can see, a little tea tag from Novelties that I saved, because on the back they have all these fun little book-related quotes on them. So there's always something that you can save from your everyday life to document. And this is a very old reading based sticker collection that's still available on Patreon. But these colors, usually less so my style, but because the rest of this is so bright and cheerful, I think it actually works out nicely for this entry. We're definitely going full on collage here. Okay. Put these ones back. It's more like a journaling. The inkwell is cute. My aunt Kathy was really sweet. She is very artistic, like does all kinds of sketchbooks and challenges, like Inktober, all that. And her entire dining room, it has been transformed into her own like little art studio. And she was sharing with us just all that she has created and been working on, and yeah, it was just a blast to see all of her creations and so inspiring. I don't think that quite works. Okay, let's put that away. Oops. All right, so since we have the read books thing here, I think I have a little photo of 3 books, I guess, that I read. So I'm probably gonna save this corner for those, and I would say 2 of the books that I read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I actually listened to them on audio, and I thought they had very good narrators for them. They're like young adult fantasy, kind of feel historical, even though it's not like it's a fantastical world, it's like made up, but it feels kind of like it's trying to be 1920s or something, like our time, like our modern world, but it's a made up world. It's a little confusing, frankly, the fantasy aspects of it, but I actually did very much enjoy the books, mostly for the love story and like some of the fantastical elements, like the fact that the 2 main leads, the woman and the man, who are teenagers, basically, late teens, they communicate through these magical typewriters, and that part I thought was very fun. And they're both writers, and so the writing element for me was very fun. And other than that, the fantasy aspects, other than that, I didn't frankly really get. I thought the world could have been built better, like the little war that was supposed to be driving the plot didn't really make a lot of sense to me. But overall, I felt like the books were really good, and I had a great time reading them and read them very quickly. So would recommend. And they are decently clean, I would argue, like pretty clean, not super spicy, as they say. I hate using that phrase, but you know, that's the phrase people use to try and get away with all the spice in books. Anyhow, would recommend if you already like young adult style books and more like adventure and romance type of books. So I put these down because of the communicating typewriters, and what I'm going to do then is once I print out the photos, I think I'm going to stick the 2 book covers for those books here, and then I have one other book called Turn Right at Machu Picchu that I read, and so I'll probably put that cover here. So you'll just imagine those covers being in the middle here, and then any white space, I'll just journal around that. I think I'm gonna say up here, I'm gonna just do bullet point highlights from the weekend. So we had tea and scones. We went thrifting. For clothes and books. We went on some long walks. Say chatting. And we did get some sushi, so we'll put that as a highlight too. And I'll probably put like a little strip of washi here just to make a distinguishing line. See what color. Do maybe this blue kind of checkered one. Kind of picks up on some of the other blues in this page. And then I'm going to do it here too, because that actually is a nice way to set apart visually the fact that pretty much everything in here, except really the sun tea, that is kind of for the whole summer and the whole month of July, not just this weekend, but otherwise everything that falls within the boundaries of these strips of washi is related to this little weekend getaway that we had in Bath, exploring the Bethlehem area. I'd love to know, I know a lot of you are joining on your lunch break or just as you're kind of getting work done, which is awesome. If any of you are happening to journal with me, I'd love to hear kind of what you're working on. All right, I'm cutting out our little patriotic bucket list item. Now, I do generally try to keep the bucket list not super place dependent. They're definitely seasonally dependent. So I do live in the Northern Hemisphere. July is summer for us. So I do feel bad for those of you who are in the Southern Hemisphere and the bucket list is just all kinds of messed up for you and does not align. But other than, this example, I try to not make things super US centric. But even for this one, I didn't say celebrate 4th of July or anything like that. I just said be extra patriotic and dress or decorate with pride for your home country, because that way you could always cut out just the checkbox portion and put your own like country's flag here, or your own, you know, holidays that you would celebrate with your country. So definitely think about with the bucket list how you can make it work for you. You don't have to use the illustration in combination with that check item. You know, you can really just kind of mix and match them and cut them apart and just make it work for your own entries. Thanks for joining us, Marianne. And yes, I can't wait for you to get your Happy Mail too. So I was thinking of putting this here because I think the photo that I have for us by the flag would fit there, but I'm a little worried it might not. So I think I'm gonna actually just put it over on this side. Maybe we'll just put it there in the corner, and then we probably can put the photo right here. And like I said, we did see a lot of fireflies, so I'm gonna just cut it out. I didn't catch them in a jar, so I'm not going to cut out the checkbox portion. So my niece at the 4th of July party, she was going around with the kids and they were catching the fireflies or lightning bugs. What do you call them where you live if you have fireflies or lightning bugs? Because I kind of grew up calling them both, but I think different people call them one or the other. So I'd be curious if any of you have them, kind of what you say. There. I think I might just stick it in this corner because I honestly don't really know what to do with this space. So this is the kind of random thing that does represent the month, but isn't about a specific event or anything like that. So it's a good thing to just act as a filler item. And we can say like so many fireflies this year. All right, and we just have this little space right here. Because you know I like to just fill up all of the little white spaces. So we of course need to stick something in there, even if just like a little flower could be cute. There are some really sweet little flowers in this sticker collection. Could also be, yeah, like a butterfly. One of these. I don't even know what these are supposed to be, like moths or something, but I like the way it picks up on the yellow. And sometimes, which I'm very guilty of, wanting everything to serve an exact purpose. So a lot of times when it comes to stickers like this or just like pretty florals, I'm like, well, I don't want to use that because I didn't see that exact bug, or that's not the type of flower I saw. But it's okay, and I have to remind myself of this, to just use stickers that bring you joy or evoke the feeling of the season. So this for me just feels very July. It looks very July. It's a nice way to fill in that space, even if it's not necessarily very specific to something I did or saw that month. All right, now let's see what else we have left. Did we put everything down that we had collected? I think we might have. Wow. I thought somewhere I had saved a sticker about thunderstorms. And I don't remember. I throw a lot of my leftover already cut out printables in this little dish here, but I'm not seeing it. I also could have just shoved it in because I'm pretty sure it's from the July kit. There's hot dogs. Nope, not seeing it here. Oh well. But there were a ton of thunderstorms and just like a lot of rain, very unseasonal rainfall for July where I live. And I know that's been true for a lot of the US, obviously. The flooding that happened in Texas and elsewhere is just absolutely devastating. Those types of country world events can be nice to honor and reflect on in your journaling as well. You don't have to always make it just about you and your individual life. You also can use it to document things that are happening in the news and what's happening around the world. Because sometimes this can also serve as a neat archive for just this time in the world and in life. You know, you never know what might happen to your journal in the future and how it might actually serve as an interesting way of people being able to look back. You may not want that. Some people, you know, are like, I hope nobody ever reads my journal, which is totally fair as well. I'm going to use this little plant sticker, I think up here, and use that to talk about, it's kind of another thing that I want to talk about, but I don't have a photo for, which is the fact that my current boss, unfortunately, has retired, and she has a crazy, wonderful green thumb, and she was giving away a ton of her plants, so I actually took more like of her beautiful outdoor pots. So this is a nice way to represent that, and just getting to, you know, take home some of her beautiful treasures that she has worked on. Maybe I'll just say like rehoming. So rehoming her plant babies. And maybe like something like celebrating her last days or something like that. I might stick there. I have to kind of think about how I want to reflect on all the work transitions that are happening as a result of that. And then maybe the last thing I'll put over here is I actually want to do, I actually wonder if there's one in this book too. I want to do a little onion because we had a pretty good onion harvest from our garden, and I made a delicious French onion soup. I have to say, I'm generally a pretty good cook at a lot of things, but French onion soup might be my masterpiece. I make a really good French onion soup, and my secret to making the best French onion soup is actually to save the broth from making corned beef. So when I make corned beef, usually for St. Patty's Day, I save the broth and then I use that as part of my base for French onion soup, and it just makes the richest, most flavorful French onion. So delicious. I'm not seeing, I really thought I had seen a little onion shoot in here at some point, but maybe not. So maybe what we'll do is draw a little onion. I think that would be a nice way to finish off this section. So let me find what pens I want to use. I think we'll use some Tombos. And I am going to look up what an onion looks like. Doodle. Spring onion to be exact. From the garden. Oh, it actually has a little, this illustration I'm looking at has like a little pink in it, which I like the look of that. All right, this should get me decently far. We'll use these colors and see how we do. And I am never one who cares to sketch first, so we're just gonna go for it. Okay, and now we're gonna, let's see, do like a little onion down here. It always has like the little roots sticking out of the bottom. Well, It kind of looks like an onion.
It gives you the general idea. I'm going to use my little blender brush. I think that helps sometimes. Just add some extra like lines on top that are a deeper color. It just adds a little bit depth that I think makes it look a tiny bit more realistic. This was actually really nice because all of these spring onions, we put in like a whole box full of spring onions, and they all were just ones that our neighbor had walked over the one day and we're like, oh, I have a ton of extra spring onions. Do you want any to plant? And we're like, oh, okay, sure. And here we got so much use and mileage out of them. So definitely I'm going to want to get more in future years. It was just never something that we really had planted before. So just right. Onion harvest. And then I do have a little photo of the French onion soup that I made, so I'll probably put that right in here. I'm hoping that space is big enough for it. If not, I can always put it over here and then just do a little bit of journaling there. That would work as well. And then I can, like I said, I'll just do a little bit more journaling here, I think, about work transitions. And then I do obviously have more to document. We've got a whole page on this side that is going to be where I probably use most of my photos that I haven't had a chance to print yet, other than the books, which I'm going to put here at the bottom. But yeah, we have a 4th of July picnic photo that I want to put over here. I have a photo of a delicious latte that I got this year. And then a bunch of photos from a wedding that we went to. And so I'm definitely going to want to put that over here as well. We just actually went to it last night. So that'll be one of the final things I document. And then I think what I'm going to do is in this corner, I'm going to document with like a little airplane or something like that, probably from the new travel collection. Let's see, is that in here? No. It's in this one. That just launched over on Patreon, and I'll have additional sheets once I come back from my trip that will be added onto this travel diaries collection that are going to be beach and lake and kind of water themed, and then another one that's going to be more of a staycation theme for those of you who maybe didn't get far away travel in this year. But what I would like to do is then at the bottom, maybe even, we'll just do that now as our final thing that we do together, is I'm going to put this little takeoff one here because we actually leave tomorrow. We take off in the airplane tomorrow, July 29th, and then are gone for basically the first 2 weeks of August. So technically I will have 2 days of Peru in July, but I don't think I'm going to document them in July at all. I'm actually going to just document the whole trip as if it all happened in August. So we'll turn the page and then do that for August. And what I'm going to do for July is just put our little takeoff here at the bottom and just say we left for Peru at the end of July. Maybe do this and see some alphas. Ow. Oh, actually, maybe, well, I'm not sure how big the ones I printed are. Sorry, as I'm talking to myself and not finishing my thoughts, but I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll use the alpha stickers, which are these. But I don't think I printed out. Yeah, I stopped at June. I didn't print out every single month. So I don't actually have the July colors, because that would have been perfect to use these to write out Peru, because then it would have matched exactly. But the alpha collection, this is the ultimate alphabet set, that is also available in my digital shop. You can purchase it individually or become a patron and unlock access to it. But what is so awesome about that kit is it matches all of the color palettes that we used for our monthly collections. So that way you know that you have built-in alpha stickers to use for all of your monthlies, and you know that the colors are going to match perfectly. We'll just do black, because that's classy. Now, do I have all the letters I need? I think so. Okay. So I'm just going to write, and we're going to work backwards because that way it's easier. To make sure everything fits. Can you see? Yes. Okay. And then a P. Great. And then sometimes just doing a swatch is just a nice way to make part of your title pop. And I just used the same color I had used over here for the onion, so it also helps tie pages together. But then all we have to do is say, here we come. There we go. So takeoff, Peru, here we come. So that is all I'm going to do for our Peru adventure as part of July. And then August, I'm sure I'm probably going to dedicate an entire one page just to our experience in Peru with all of the photos and all of the documenting. And of course, we're going to get to use our Machu Picchu sticker. Very, very exciting. And this one too, since we're doing Osangate, and we're also going to Salcantay. I always want to say it a little odd, but that
is part of the plan. So we're going to get to document all of that when I return. But I hope that this time together has given you a good glimpse into how you can document your month without even any photos involved. Look at all of these memories that are documented just with stickers and ephemera and memorabilia that I have collected along the way. It's really amazing what you can document and how you can do it using free items so very easily. Of course, if you want access to every sticker you could possibly ever need to document your life so that you know that you have a full collection of stickers ready to go available to you to document everything, do check out my Patreon. It's a great resource for you as you are working on your own journaling. And I will very much look forward to coming back to you all soon with some more journaling and lots of travel journaling and documenting because, like I said, we had a lot of trips and experiences this summer to document. So look forward to that. Go ahead and leave a comment letting me know where you tuned in from or what you were working on while watching if you're catching this afterwards. And thank you so much, so much to everybody who joined me live for this journaling session. And thank you especially to all of my patrons who make this possible. Truly could not do everything that I do here on YouTube and Patreon without your support. So thank you. Thank you, Anne. I see your comments about working on your photos for July. I hope that this gave you a good opportunity to get that all done. And I do hope that you find monthly journaling is much easier than scrapbooking. That is what turned me on to it. I was looking for a way to document my life that actually felt manageable and like something you could stay on top of. And for me, monthly journaling is exactly that. So thank you. I'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Good luck with documenting your own months of July. And I would encourage you, if you are a patron, free or up, to share your entries once you are done them in our monthly journaling club chat. We have a whole chat room over on Patreon where you can share your entries. And once I have finished mine, which frankly probably is going to wait until I get back, once I do, though, I will be sharing it there for you all to see. So I'll look forward to doing that then. All right, friends, thanks again, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.